If you don't know what a company actually does, you're never going to know their propensity to churn, and you're probably not going to be good at understanding the next best product. OG. I'm an OG tech. I'm an OG InsurTech LA guy.
Yes, man.
Sounds super simple, but if you think about it, classification is really hard to do at scale. If I gave you, Gilad, 5 names and addresses of companies, and I asked you to map the 6-digit, which is as far as the industry codes go, NAICS codes go, and asked you to actually tell me where those actually fall into, it would be really hard. It would take you a lot of time, but it sounds so simple. A bank is a bank, a barbershop's a barbershop. No, actually, there's a lot of hidden risks involved in a lot of these smaller businesses that are very tough for a human eye to actually pick up and really hard to do it at scale. So our company, to answer your question, sorry it took me so long, it's really a company that understands what companies actually do, and that matters a ton for commercial underwriters.
I don't have any follow-up questions for you. Anything else that you want to talk about? How was the transition from Silver Lake to Echo Park or something in that?
Oh yeah, I had to trim my beard just a few inches because you don't really pass.
Did you find that the fact that now you have a very specific, not call to action, but a value proposition, it makes your life easier to work with your customers?
So much. I can't even tell you, honestly, like from so many different aspects. But as just a very quick example, when we used to run a pilot, I used to have to ask for 10 years of customer and transaction data from an insurance carrier. That would take almost a year to get from every company. Procurement took forever. A lot of security related with all that data transfer. Now it's as simple as an API where we can give you a token, test it yourself, see if you like it. We're a natural, like you call it, like pre-ask Kodiak step of, if you put in a name and address, we'll give you with very high certainty what the numerous things that company does. Maybe they're a carpenter and a roofer, but you just thought they were a carpenter. So we'll give you the multi-class classifications, and that feeds in really nicely to what Ask Kodiak does, because now there's no wasted time. We can be accurate about what they do, so you'll get the right appetite for the right risk. Why we're a little bit different is we're not a database, right? Like your standard API will hit a static database and return an answer. Ours is actually real-time processing. So every time you click that button and call the API, it's processing. It's actually going through a machine learning workflow and then returning a result in under a second. So it's actually working like a human would work, but just much faster.
So any success that you can show?
Yeah, I'll share one. We're in the middle of it with a lot of carriers, but one really great example of this is with Coterie. If you're familiar, they're a great platform, growing like crazy. They underwrite, so classification really matters for them, right? So we're just a really important part of their tech stack on the back end, and the way that it works in the use case with them and the use case with a lot of these platforms is actually at the point of submission. Because our API is so fast, we can actually fire that answer of what do you do within that form.